What is your? I wish I had started doing that earlier in my life? Saving. Getting in a habit of exercising. Eating right. Forcing myself to be less lazy, more active. Not caring what others think. Not caring what people thought of me as much. Start giving myself more credit. Always thought being self-critical made me work harder. It just made me miserable. Skincare and gym. Working out. If I am being honest. Giving a shit about my 401k. Let down my guard enough to even begin a romantic relationship. The responsibility was too frightening. I don't know who needs to hear this right now. But if my words can help just one person, I'll be satisfied. A lot of people keep saying how they wish they cared less about what people thought about them. But this kind of thing doesn't just come out of nowhere. You can't just will into existence the not caring thing. A lot of people are missing the driving force behind not giving much credence to what people say about you. It's a symptom of something much deeper. They are missing a certain level of love for themselves. For example, if you spend most of your life being insecure about how weird your personality is, you aren't really comfortable in your own skin. Are you? As a result, self-esteem issues arise and you start to seek validation from external sources, i.e. those around you. Because you aren't getting it from you. You need to learn how to love yourself first and foremost. And then auxiliary issues such as social anxiety, insecurity, and how important others' opinions of you are kind of just sort themselves out. Putting my goals and happiness above what my family expected, wanted of my life. It took me 25 miserable years to realize that what my family wanted my life to be was dramatically different from what I really wanted and needed to be happy. It's important to understand what you want from life and to go for that even if it's not what your family wants for you. If your family loves you, they'll support you regardless. If they choose not to support you, fine. Fill your life with people who love you and support your happiness, wellness. It might be hard to let go of toxic familial expectations, but it's always worth it. Taking better care of my teeth. I really regret not taking dental health seriously because now I have 2 broken molars and other problems with my teeth that will probably end up costing me a lot of money to fix. This isn't very deep, but using a prescription-strength antiperspirant. I stuck to black or white shirts till my mid-20s because of my sweat problem. Believing in myself. Opening up my taste in music. Listening to only one genre robs yourself of some amazing artists and albums. I wish I stopped doubting myself. Learning a different language. Dieting better. It's amazing how different your body and mind feels when you eat healthier. Sleeping at a reasonable hour. I still struggle with it because I've had this messed up sleep schedule for so long. It's definitely worth it though, no more headaches in the middle of the day, and I'm much more productive. Stopped drinking. Understanding that 99% of the time nobody gives a single fuck about what I think. And that's okay. Taking birth control solely to ease cramps. Jesus Christ, I wish someone had told me this was an option at 16, 18. I think I vaguely knew in my 20s but didn't do the fucking research and would forget. I finally got off my ass at 35 and my day-to-day life is immeasurably better. No cramps. No wild mood swings. My skin doesn't break out anymore. Fuck sake, this would have done so much for my health and self-confidence my whole life. Going to the gym and living healthy. Eating less. Learning English. I used to hate English classes. So I didn't care about learning it. Then I slowly learned it myself through the internet. I am pretty good at it. But I wish I'd started learning it earlier. I would learn a lot more. Investing in index funds. Running. I've lost weight. My blood pressure is lower. And it's a great way to clear my mind. Losing weight. It would have been easier to get under control when it wasn't that bad. Even now, it really isn't too far gone. It still would have been easier to bounce back physically had I done it sooner in life though. If I lose weight, I'm going to have loose skin and extra saggy boobs. It's disappointing. I also would have enjoyed my life more and probably had a serious relationship instead of being single and friendless at 23 because few people want to be seen with the fat girl. However, typing this out made me realize I still have the opportunity to change and I can still have those things if I work really hard at helping myself. Thanks for reminding me. As a 22-year-old guy, expressing my emotions a lot more rather than trying to come across as the happy guy all of the time. Unless you were really close to me, you would think I'm the happiest guy on earth who has my shit together, and I genuinely do consider myself a positive person. But I do have deep thoughts now and then. Especially if my life isn't going too well. If you know me a bit more, you realize that yes, I am a positive person. I am human just like everybody else. I just have my own personal shit too. I would say I hide it better than most people. My housemate at university once confessed to me that he thought I was just a really good actor, and he suspected that I had something like bipolar disorder. He also noticed that I seemed to have some sort of angry rant or confession every few months about something. It could be anything that got me going. Even the slightest thing could get me very angry about something, especially if I had been drinking heavily. I also generally realized that in the days after I had one of those rants, I felt like a weight had been lifted. My housemate explained that I was like a pot of water coming to the boil basically every few months. I think the reason I do it is because my family aren't the most emotional of people. Generally, they don't show their emotions much, even by British standards. We're generally quite emotionally reserved compared to Americans. For example, I've never seen my dad cry ever. Even when my great-grandmother died a couple of years ago. I guess I just realized. Keep your emotions to yourself was the thing to do when I was a kid. And until very recently, I never really questioned that mindset. Recently though, I've realized that just bottling up your emotions and releasing them every few months is not healthy at all. It's okay not to be happy 100% all of the time. At the end of the day, you're human. If I'm feeling really angry or something, I do something like punching a pillow or writing down my thoughts on a piece of paper. I'm still a work in progress for sure. But I now realize that concealing your emotions is just not good for you. I'm sorry if this is a bit long, but I felt as if I had to get my story out there. Hope you guys keep safe. Getting my driver's license. Saying no. Learning how to study. Go on a date with my BF the first time he asked me out. Getting help for mental illness problems. If that had been addressed when I was a teen, my life would have been infinitely better. You can't outrun the bad stuff, and it will catch up with you in the end. I'm 44 now, and this is my biggest regret by far. We aren't born to suffer, and we deserve a good life. Hugs to anyone who needs them. I know I do. Stopped seeking other people's approval. Breaking up with my ex, not tolerating bullshit. Focusing on the core of who I am first. My mindset, my body, my spiritual life, my ability to sleep well, to know what I want, etc. Everything in our society is constantly pulling your attention outward. I noticed this lead me to be inconsistent in my pursuits and unable to accept my life as it was. Hard to embrace your life when you're seeing 10 more epic or interesting lives being lived in front of you every day of the week. This last year I've focused on my core first, and everything's improved so much. I finally feel peace and am moving forward with things I care about. Love it. Dancing. Less deep than what a lot of people are saying. But I wish I had started making my bed earlier in life. I never thought there was a time in which I'd care if my bed was made. Now, I like having a made-up bed. But now, every time I make my bed, it's like a workout because those specific muscles went underutilized for years. It's getting easier with time. But if I had started earlier, it would be absolutely no issue at all by now. Any skill, instrument playing, language learning, etc. Being sober. Thanking bus drivers. Going to the gym, constantly. None of that. I'm definitely going to the gym 5x a week this year. And then slowly going less and less until I stop going crap. Done something about my weight. Using Reddit. Not wasting my time and effort on someone that only cared about their own wants and needs regardless of what I had to sacrifice to fulfill them. I deserve to be happier than that. Weightlifting. It's become my passion and defined my life and lifestyle. I'm sad that I waited until my late 20s, but glad I found it. Save money and not use credit cards. Being physically active. Studying Spanish. Studying Portuguese. Ideally, I could have already been conversationally fluent in either language had I begun studying when I first got the idea back in middle school. This sounds odd, but building Gundam models. I have always enjoyed collecting things, and had a passive interest in Gundam as a whole. I mean, who doesn't love giant robots? It wasn't until about 2 years ago that I built my first model and haven't stopped since. It is such a relaxing experience and really helps me de-stress. Being concerned about my money and where it's going. Self-education. I wish I had bought a PS4. Bitcoin mining. Obviously. Therapy. Stopped believing it was my role to be a submissive Christian wife and realized I deserved to be treated better, to be loved not just tolerated, and to realize God wasn't the answer. Becoming more responsible and not procrastinating. Doing what I want, not living to coincide with the opinions and standards of others. Just one guitar, slung way down low. Getting an ADHD diagnosis and starting on medication. I've always been just high functioning enough to get by. But there was a growing gap between my potential and my abilities. Diagnosed at 30 and can't help but wonder where I'd be if it had been recognized sooner. Having kids. I had my son when I was 36 after being on the fence about parenthood for a number of years. If I had known how much fun it is, I would have started earlier and had another. Being kind to everyone through every way possible. Edit. Thanks for the 50 likes. And another one I would add is 2 strikes they're out. If you are nice to them twice and they are mean both times, then move on. There are approximately 7.5 billion people. I guarantee that you will find someone nicer. Actually washing my face at night and practicing good skin care. A quick wipe down with a makeup wipe after a night out on the town just didn't cut it. Also, wearing sunscreen. Sorry college me.